Well, morning glory and hallelujah, everybody. It is the morning after with Nic and Big J. Welcome to Wednesday, 20th day of November, 2024. My name is Nic. There's Big J right over yonder.
Yo.
Good morning to you, Big J.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, windy Wednesday.
Warmer than I was like, hey, I didn't have to warm up the car.
Oh, all right. You like that, do you? Now, would the old Big J say, this tornado weather, watch out?
No.
No, okay.
No.
Usually you had said that warm and windy is an ominous sign.
Yeah, but this is 50 degrees. It's not 90 degrees.
No, it's not 90 degrees. I don't care what anybody says. It's not 90 degrees out there. I want to make sure we make that perfectly clear.
It's clear.
But
Clear as day.
We are going to be having some storms hit in and around the area over the next couple of days. So perhaps some, precipitation as well as some wind is something that you need to get used to over the next couple of days because, man, it's that time of year, Big J.
Yeah.
This is what happens. Fall.
We're having a fall. It hasn't gone straight to winter.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
It's nice.
Hopefully you like the other stuff we have planned for the show today, including but not limited to an opportunity for you to get qualified for the X's Holiday Treasure. That big giveaway is happening on December 10th at Barbarian Brewing in Garden City. Boy, howdy, we'd like you to be there. If you want to get in on our $10,000 giveaway that we are doing there, you need to get qualified for that. We're going to give you an opportunity a little bit around 7:45 today with Carol Quiz. We also have a chance for you to go to the Devil Wears Prada. Now, Big J, hear me out. That show is tonight.
It is.
At the Knitting Factory Concert House, and it's, quite frankly, one of the few rock shows we have on the calendar for the upcoming months. So if you want to send out 2024 in a big hurrah, this might be the way to do it, and we will give you free entry to that show a couple times over the course of the program today. Then, Big J, let me also throw this into the fire. You're going to give us a movie review.
Yeah. Emilia Perez.
You sat down and watched a movie called Emilia Perez on Netflix, and we learned some things about it. You and I hung out a little bit last night, and I did admit that I wasn't exactly well versed on maybe the genre of the movie that was selected.
Way to research.
Again, so I have discovered that the more I dig into these movies, you'll find something wrong with every single one of them. So I have to really just kind of take them on their basic first view. And again, as I was going through the movies for this particular week, it was, I need to find some new releases because everything is a Christmas movie. I want to wait until December before we roll out the Christmas movie stuff. So I'm just looking for new movies that I know you haven't seen. And then I picked out some of the more popular new movies on Netflix this time around. And that's really as deep as I went into it and then grabbed the plot description.
Oh, we'll get into it.
We'll learn all about that a little bit later on today.
Pretty funny.
And of course, we also have an opportunity for you to go to hell with us and all sorts of other cool things.
And we got Dave Foutch coming in to talk about Cranksgiving, which is next week.
All right. We have got ourselves a full show today.
Damn right.
And then we have some Soundgarden to play. Let's kick things off with Black Hole Sun here on the Morning After on the X.
Important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The Morning After with Nic and Big J.
Big J, Metallica continues to be one of the biggest rock bands on the planet, but also one of just the best people on the planet.
Generous.
As news finally came out that, we've talked several times about Metallica's All Within My Hands Foundation. It is something that they are very proud of, as well they should be. Every time they stop at a particular place, they hand out some money to some great nonprofits in whatever city they're playing. And then sometimes they do it just to do it. And that is the case that brings Metallica into the news with some great Treasure Valley side of things, because the College of Western Idaho's Fire Services Technology Program was given a $75,000 grant by Metallica's foundation as a part of their initiative to support students in trade. Now, of course, that's an academy where aspiring firefighters here in the Treasure Valley get hands-on training and schooling from local firefighters and chiefs. And so this $75,000 grant from Metallica's All Within My Hands Foundation will help rent turnout fire protective gear for students to use during their internships with local fire departments, as well as equipment and scholarships to those students that maybe can't afford the program and really want to get into firefighting services. So once again, Metallica stepping it up to the plate, calling their shot like Babe Ruth, Big J, and knocking it out of the damn park.
Absolutely.
So good job, guys. We think it's fantastic. And again, not something Metallica has to do. Nobody's like, hey, how come, Metallica hasn't set up a nonprofit yet that just gives away tens of thousands of dollars to some great things, and they just do it because they're doing it, and it's really cool.
Well, it wasn't up until like 10 years ago that they started taking credit for it, because they'd been doing it years before that. But they decided, maybe we should let people know we're doing this. So
yeah, I mean, and it's amazing. So the students there had a really cool party the other day to kind of celebrate the fact that they were getting this, and they had some fun putting out like a really cool, like they made like a makeshift guitar and like put out a fire with it. It was really neat to see them put that all together. So congratulations to CWI, congratulations to the students, and tip of the hat, as they say, Big J, to Metallica.
Yeah.
Another one, as Rick Ross once said. Hey, the Dallas Cowboys and the Cincinnati Bengals are slated to play on Monday Night Football December 9th. Now, when they came up with the schedule.
It's too late, man. They can't get out of this now.
No. When they came up with the schedule, they probably thought, hey, that's a pretty good a pretty good matchup between two teams that are probably going to be headed to the playoffs that late in the season. But it turns out, no, both of those teams probably aren't going to make it to the Cowboys definitely aren't. Cincinnati Bengals, who knows, but I'm guessing no, probably not as well. So this would traditionally be a game that Monday Night Football would go, why don't we flex out of this mess? And the problem is they can't, because if you remember a couple of weeks ago, we announced that was going to be the game that they're doing a very special Simpsons alternative broadcast with ESPN Plus and Disney Plus, and they have been prepping, writing, and using voices for this game already, kind of in anticipation of this stuff.
They've got a lot of pre-work to do.
Yeah. They're too far into the process at this point to make them change out the game in any way, shape, or form. So no matter what, we're getting the Cowboys and Bengals on Monday Night Football. But if you don't like the football matchup, maybe you could tune into the alternative broadcast and check out the Simpsons doing some play-by-play, and that might be a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
Or at least make the game a little bit more entertaining. Because, we've got...
It won't be the game.
One of the Turkey Day games is now Cooper Rush versus Tommy DeVito, for God's sake. That's going to be... And there's nothing else going on.
Yeah, Cooper Rush needs a food nickname. Get Tommy Cutlets.
I don't think that's going to help the matchup. You can call him whatever you want.
Cooper Corn Cob Rush.
It's still terrible football. But hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Rita Moreno, Big J, do you know who that is?
No.
It's too bad, because she is a legendary actress, an EGOT-winning actress. You know what that means, right?
Yeah, she's won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony.
That's correct. And there's only
EGOT.
a few people on that list, and she was one of the first to do that. She will be honored with a Barbie doll in her likeness for her upcoming 93rd birthday. The doll is inspired by her iconic red carpet looks over the years, will be part of Barbie's tribute collection, and I can't think of anybody that probably deserves their own Barbie more than Rita Moreno, who is an icon both in the Hollywood community and also the Latin American community. One of the first, award winners of that particular community to actually be an honest-to-God superstar. So good for her. Congratulations. And that is somebody to look up to for sure. And I think rightfully so. Enjoy your Barbie, Rita Moreno. You deserve it. Morning After with Nic and Big J. There's your first round of important stuff. It is the X Rocks.
Here's traffic.
That is Bad Flower. That is Detroit here on the Morning After with Nic and Big J. Big J, you love positive thinking. Are you a believer in the art or the ability of manifestation?
Manifest. I think so, yeah.
Like, if you think about something hard enough, you're able to will it into existence?
I mean, I don't know about that, but I do know that if you keep a positive outlook, that it can only be beneficial.
Yeah, I think positive mindset is much better than a negative mindset.
I don't know about, like, legitimately manifesting something.
Okay, so you don't then believe in manifestation?
I guess not.
With a pretty big 180 on where we were when this segment started, but I understand. But believe it or not, there are some new studies that show it could be a thing. Specifically, if you think about something you've always wanted to do, wanted to be when you were a kid, as they follow these kids through their life and their goals for their future, they realize that kids tend to achieve those goals when they get older, as long as it's something that they lock in on. Like adolescents who have and endorse higher levels of prestige and education goals are much more likely to complete those goals than those who don't. Like, for instance, if there's a 6-year-old that says, hey, I want to go to college, or this is a college I've always wanted to go to, or whatever, they have a tendency to follow through on those particular dreams, which is interesting. They did a study of about 25,000 different kids here in the United States of America, mostly in and around the Texas area from the University of Houston. And they found out that basically the message seems to be that when kids dream big about doing well in school or being successful as an adult, they tend to accomplish those things. So, if you remember walking around and being a little kid and going, this is what I want to be, and then you changed your mind over the years, or you decided, I don't really know what I want to be when I grow up, etc., you tend to have a little bit of a different direction in your life when you're a kid. But when you are going through elementary school and go, listen, I want to graduate college. I want to do this. This is what I've always wanted to be. You have a tendency to follow through on those particular dreams, which is interesting. Also makes me think, I could have been a doctor or a
lawyer.
famous, or if I dream, I did want to be a lawyer, and I was on that path. I really was.
Yeah.
But I didn't have that dream when I was a kid. I had that dream, not even a dream. It was like that felt like it was a smart move for me when I was in high school, because I was so good at orating and debate and forensics, and everybody was like, this is what you need to do. Everybody was telling me, and I was like, yeah, I guess that makes sense, and then maybe I could do some good. And then when I started to actually learn how to do it, I was like, I don't know, I like touching buttons and saying fart jokes a lot better than
This is boring, man.
learning about law and precedents and lawsuits. But to each their own, I guess. But I don't know if that means you just need to dream big when you're a kid and then the sky's the limit, or if it's something else involved in it. But it's interesting to me that you can, if you have a dream as a kid, you can have a tendency to follow through. Can you think of anything in your life that was something? Did you always want to be on the radio?
No.
Did you always want to drive a motorcycle?
I always have.
Well, there you go. Maybe that's your form of manifestation. Because now here you are as a full-blown adult.
I always wanted to be a badass.
All right, well, you just got work to do there. But
Nope.
you certainly have some things, I think, that you've achieved when you were a kid, and now you're doing it on a regular basis. So I think there's probably some truth there to it. I think if there's something that you've wanted for so long as a kid, and you really stay on that path, I think your likelihood of success is pretty good.
Yeah.
As long as it's not something like completely ridiculous. Like, if you're 3 years old and go, I want to live on,
Mars.
Uranus, that's going to be tough for you to do. But other things that are obtainable, it might be something that makes a little bit more sense. So I say teach your kids to dream big and then see what happens, right?
Yeah, manifest.
Manifest this. Morning After with Nic and Big J. Big J's got a movie review for us. That's next on the X Rocks. Tonight here on the Morning After with Nic and Big J. Right around this time yesterday, you guys selected a movie for Big J to watch. It was available on Netflix. It was a brand new movie. Tons of star power. It won overwhelmingly, and it was called Emilia, Perez. And Big J watched it, and now he's reporting on it. Big J?
Yeah, it stars Zoe Saldana. That's the power you're talking about. Selena Gomez is in this. Edgar Ramirez. And you've got Carla Sofia Garcon. She plays Mantis Del Monte. Nick, I think we had a conversation last night. We were hanging out. We did a podcast with some friends, and we'll get into that at some other point. But you apologized to me because you didn't realize that this was a musical.
I had no idea it was a musical.
And I don't know if it should be a musical. It's just, here's the thing. We think of musicals, at least I do, as usually they're comedies or they're whimsical, that sort of thing. And then on occasion, there might be a musical like Evita, I guess, is a musical, right?
Yes, it 100%.
So there are dramas that are musicals, but this is just a different kind of thing where it caught me really off guard. Because from the very onset, you kind of get the idea that this is a serious, dramatic movie, and that there's serious stuff is going to be happening. And Zoe Zalandar, she plays a lawyer, and you're kind of wondering, okay, what's going to happen here? And I'm going to spoil the movie just a little bit because I think it's necessary for a lot of people, because I don't know how to feel about this movie necessarily, because it's so different, but it's also in some aspects very interesting because of that musical aspect. And basically, she is a lawyer, kind of overlooked by a lot of people, but she has helped win a lot of cases. And somebody has been noticing this. That person, their character's name is Mantius, and he is a drug cartel kingpin, and he has decided to ask her to help him. And basically, it's at this point where I'm like, the musical has gone off the rails part, because they do this in a way. Basically, his request is he wants to transition from male to female.
Okay.
And so he wants her to find him a place to do that in secret. So obviously, he's trying to not only disguise himself, but also you get into the deeper meaning of this movie, and that's finding your true self, and that journey that a lot of people might not appreciate around these parts. But, so it's very interesting. But at the same time, it's a musical. And I don't know how to feel about that, especially when you also have there's some action sequences in this that are in musical form. And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if I like that or not. And it's weird.
Well, I think what you're witnessing is a traditional musical. This is what musicals usually are. And you have, I think, for the most part in your life, dismiss them as something that you're not interested in.
Spit on them.
And so you're not familiar with the concept of how musicals traditionally work. Because, again, I believe you and I have had this discussion in the past where you call, like, Barbie a musical, and I'm like, it's not a musical.
Yeah,
it's a movie that has a couple of musical interludes. It does not make it a musical.
Musical interludes equals musical.
Well, no, because in the true traditional sense of a musical, really everything is music. Like all the dialogue is sung as opposed to spoken, and so there's that. This has probably got a couple of like dialogue scenes, and then big, huge musical numbers that kind of weave these things together, right?
Not even necessarily just big. Even in the smaller, it's a hodgepodge of what you're saying. There is moments where there's just dialogue, but then there's also dialogue music.
But if you were to watch like West Side Story, this is the kind of movie you would see.
Asleep. This also 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Yeah.
So it was a slog for me, and but at the same time, I'll say that the story is really interesting, and everybody in this is amazing. I mean, their performances are really good. Here's where I get into things. I would never choose this movie on my own to watch. Not in a million years. I'll never go back and watch it. The problem is a movie reviewer, this is a pretty good movie in the fact that the performances are amazing. It's a good story. And, musical aside, I mean, they all do an amazing job on this. So it's a good movie. But I don't want to recommend this because I wouldn't want to watch this. I don't want to tell somebody you should watch this when I didn't want to watch it.
Uh-huh. But so but you thought it was good.
Yeah. but I'm approving a movie that I don't know if everybody should see this movie. So that's the thing about it. I don't know if that's the thing. Not every movie is supposed to be seen by
I think you could say that about every movie you approve. It's not for every single person.
Yeah.
But it is something that you enjoyed and thought was well done.
I like to make a different. Yeah, that's true. But it's not something I loved, and I'm like, God, I'm going to watch this again. It's so, if we were doing the morning after movie podcast, I'd give this movie a B-.
Okay, that's a good grade.
So, so in that respect, it's a good movie. Would I recommend it for everybody? No.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think whether you
there's
want
a lot
to
of people who get into that portion of it and be like, eject, I'm out.
You've got musical people that for a long time that would be you, and just like anytime there's songs in it, I'm not interested. So that audience is gone. There is, like it or not, an audience that probably would not enjoy the subject matter of this
bigots,
film. And
mostly.
So there's that as well. But I think if you like good movies and you enjoy musicals or you don't mind musicals, this might be. Was this a good warm up for Wicked for you? Because this is what you're going to get with Wicked, bro.
I expect that. And
okay,
that's expected. I wasn't expecting a musical.
So it catching you off guard. Got it.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell is going on? And I'm like, it's dark, and that's not how I envision the musical side of things. So yeah, I'll approve this.
Okay. It is Big J approved. May not be for anybody.
I'll never see it again.
Well, you could probably say that about 98% of your streaming dumbass movies, approved or not.
Maybe.
Morning After with Nic and Big J. Coming up in a few minutes, some important stuff. It's next on the X.
Spanning the globe in search of news. Important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the Morning After with Nic and Big J.
It's an age-old question, Big J. Something that has baffled people from the beginning of time. A question you probably heard as a kid. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
The egg or the chicken? Who knows?
Hey, guess what? The University of Geneva knows.
Oh.
They may have helped solve the age-old question of which came first, the chicken or the egg. A Swiss team discovered a single-cell organism called the Commisphaera perkins 2, and that contains the genetic machinery for creating eggs a billion years before animals existed. Now, this team says it's truly fascinating, a huge breakthrough in the world of science. A species discovered very recently allows them to go back in time more than a billion years, according to the study author. Researchers found that the process that would basically allow eggs to divide into complex organisms that predates animals. In short, Big J, your first instinct was right. The egg came first.
Okay.
And then animals came later, because this is something that appears to be around long before humans or dinosaurs or anything else. It was the thing that kind of maybe helped create animals in the very beginning, but the egg came before the chicken, Big J. How does that make you feel?
Confused, I guess.
Questioning your faith and what we're doing here?
If I take them at their word like they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, they're telling you the Earth isn't 2,000 years old, Big J. What do you do with that information?
Ignore it, probably.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's standard operating procedure. You're absolutely right. Hey, just 6 weeks after firing head coach Robert Saleh, the New York Jets cleaned house again, this time putting general manager Joe Douglas out on his ass.
Yeah, you brought in this Aaron Rodgers cancer into us.
Owner Woody Johnson thanked Douglas for his commitment and then spat on the ground. Ha!
I mean, he's drafted some pretty good players.
It'd be nice if they actually played well, though. Cited that they did definitely need for a fresh start around there in New York. In his 5 years with Douglas as GM, the team had how many winning seasons, Big J?
0?
Yep, not a single damn one. So how good could those players have been? We'll see if the new general manager has better luck and maybe can possibly help the team end its 14-year playoff drought, but that clearly is not going to happen this year. The question now becomes, Big J, does Aaron Rodgers come back? Do the Jets want him back? Is this how the Aaron Rodgers story ends? Do they move on? Do they try to
No,
find...
I mean, clearly he has to then go to Minnesota.
It's the natural.
Career.
But they also have a quarterback they drafted last year, and they're high on him.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he's injured.
J.J. McCarthy will be back next year. And so we will see how that goes for the Minnesota Vikings. But this year's quarterback class isn't exactly amazing. There's nobody that everybody is convinced is really, really amazing.
Besides Shador.
Even then, it's like, do you take that guy number one?
Oh, he's going to be the number one pick.
You think?
Easily, yes.
I don't know, man. I don't think I would trust my franchise to any quarterback that's coming out of college football currently. Although, to be fair, I also said that last year, and Jaden Daniels looked like he's pretty good. But I didn't think even
also
Caleb
not
Williams,
the number one. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
I didn't think Caleb Williams was the answer, and so far
it doesn't matter. It's the situation that they go into. Anybody that gets drafted by New York to be their quarterback, it's going to be they're in big trouble.
Plus, I mean,
So-
the Giants will be a pick ahead of them anyway.
Same with the Giants.
Yeah.
You know, going there is a death trap for a quarterback.
Yeah, it's not great.
Like your career is over before it started. Same with Carolina.
Well, I mean, Eli Manning had a pretty good run there in New York for a while.
No, that was before. I mean, they still let Eli throw about 50 or 60 interceptions before they benched him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was before they went into this new thing where, boy, if you don't come in and you're amazing right away, we're done with you.
Yeah.
Any of the quarterbacks that we grew up watching would not have made it in today's game the way the quarterbacks are developed.
Well-
Peyton Manning included.
Yeah, well, the thing with the difference between that and now is quarterbacks were coming out as juniors and sophomores and redshirt sophomores.
Either way, the games are so much different now, I think, in some respects, and they're very underdeveloped before they get to the NFL, and then the expectation is so much higher that if you don't have those stats right away, I mean, it's just turn and burn, and it's, you're never going to have that.
Commissioner Big J, fix it. What do you do?
I don't think you can.
Oh, it's doomed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the product has taken a real step back. I mean, nobody likes to hear that because the NFL is more popular than ever, but most of these games, specifically because of the quarterback play, although, again, my theory has much more to do with the offensive line play than anything else. That has downgraded significantly over the last 2 decades, and that, I believe, has led to the demise of the quarterback, which is why we're seeing every quarterback throwing to the running back and swing passes and screens, because they need to get things out in 1.2 seconds or they will get sacked, because the offensive line play has gone really, really far down. And so that's why you have stat lines like, everybody is 22 for 38 for 122 yards passing. It's almost unwatchable.
Where the development of like the offensive line is failing, I'm not sure where that is. I mean, a lot of experts say it's the CBA and the lack of practice and, stuff like that, but I don't know what the real reason.
I think it's because because offensive linemen, their type of play, the style of player that they are, has not changed, whereas the defensive line and linebackers are straight up monsters and athletes at this point, and it's much more difficult to block those guys than it was 20 years ago. And so while those particular positions have evolved, the offensive line position has not. It's always been the 300-pound guy that's 6'9", that's not very mobile, and there's now a guy that's 220 that can run a 4.6 right around him, and that becomes an issue. But there's no way to combat that, because you need that strength up front and to run block and all sorts of stuff.
We didn't figure out anything to help, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
You know what, though? It's okay. People turned out 20 minutes ago. We're talking about the Achilles heel of the Treasure Valley. Big J, are you mentioned this before. Are you excited about Juror number 2, the Clint Eastwood movie?
No.
The legal thriller? Oh, I thought you were.
No, I was just defending Clint Eastwood a little bit.
Got it.
And his just pedigree of some of the movies he's done.
But we do like Nicholas Hoult, who is going to star in that particular movie. It has been decided there will be no theatrical release. Well, there will be, but it'll be extremely, extremely limited. I.e. like New York and L.A., and that's it. So maybe it can make a push for the Oscars, but that's all it's going to get. And then it'll stream on Max on December 20th. It will debut in fewer than 50 theaters, so we're talking super limited release. And that doesn't make Clint Eastwood happy, but that's probably what he signed up for, and nobody realizes that these days. But it will be on Max, so if you're looking for a good, solid legal thriller, maybe this is it. I don't know. But I do like Nicholas Hoult, so I'll give it a shot, Big J. I'll say that. And you'll be able to watch it on Max come next month. Exactly 1 month from today, Big J, as a matter of fact. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There is your important stuff. We're going to go to hell, and it's going to happen next. I'll tell you what, on the Xtra.
Fight stories that are incredibly f***ed up. Oh man, we're going to hell.
Won't you join me in my own private hell?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J on 100.3 The X Rocks.
El Sereno, California is where we're going for today's We're Going to Hell story, Big J.
El Sereno?
Just outside of Los Angeles. You ever heard of it?
Yeah. Not El Sereno, but Los Angeles.
It's a neighborhood there in the L.A. area, and it revolves around a 93-year-old woman that lives on her own. She's lived in this neighborhood in her house, Big J, for the last 60-plus years. And it's been a big part of her life. And recently, over the last couple of months, something interesting has been happening. But she hasn't given it a whole lot of thought, Big J. She would be going about her business, usually later in the evening hours. And whenever she was like getting up to go to the bathroom at like 2 o'clock in the morning, Big J, or making herself a little sweet treat at like 11:30 at night, and she was walking around the house, she would often hear like knocking from underneath her house. And she was like, oh, it's that time of year, must be a family of some sort of nocturnal animals, maybe some raccoons that have made themselves a little bit of home in my crawl space. It's fine. They don't bother me. I don't bother them. Live and let live, Big J.
Good policy.
So it's been going on for a couple weeks, and then she started noticing specifically during her late night bathroom trips that every time that like she was up at an unconventional hour, it seemed like there was some really angry knocking going on underneath her house. And she's like, all right, now it's starting to get a little bit weird. Maybe, there's some spirits going on here. Who knows what's happening?
Spirits?
Maybe
upset.
Perhaps I've angered somebody, or I don't know, some ghost has some unfinished business. I'm not exactly sure, but those noises are getting louder, or maybe there's more animals underneath my crawl space than I know actually live there, and maybe it's time they find a new home. So she decides to call police and animal control to take a look under her crawl space to see what exactly is going on underneath there. And Big J, she was thinking it was a dog or maybe, again, a family of raccoons or whatever. But sure enough, when the police showed up, there was something living underneath her house. What do you think it was, Big J?
I don't know, a dude.
Yeah,
Some guy.
Yeah.
Hey, you're making too much noise up there.
But not only, what made this story even weirder is, yes, when police showed up and they shone a flashlight under the crawl space, they sure enough did find a man underneath the house. This man, however, Big J, fully nude, not wearing any clothes whatsoever, just naked as a jaybird underneath there.
Is he from another time?
No, he is not a time traveler. It was not something that he traveled from another time or dimension. It wasn't a Terminator scenario. He didn't just poof someplace and didn't have any
like
clothes.
Encino Man? Very confused caveman?
No, he wasn't unfrozen and unfamiliar with our surroundings or our way of life. He just thought that this was a good place to be, but he was very upset that the woman was waking him up at 2 o'clock in the morning when he was trying to sleep. And so he wanted to maybe hopefully scare her back to bed.
Oh, man.
She said, quote, the noises were kind of like a knocking. It was like as I was walking, they were knocking back from under the house. And so I started to think something was wrong. So she wanted to get the unwanted guest out, and that's what happened. And Big J, basically, once they found him underneath the crawl space, he refused to get out. He's like, this is my home, you know? And so they tried to intimidate him with police dogs. That didn't seem to worry him at all. But you know what got the job done, Big J? Good old-fashioned tear gas.
They had to tear gas the guy?
They had to tear gas him. The naked man was identified as 27-year-old Isaac Bentoncourt. He is suspected to have lived under this house for at least the last 6 months.
Jesus.
And now the family is trying to help their grandmother by blocking access to the 2-foot-high crawl space under the entire house to prevent similar problems in the future. But this guy had set up shop underneath this woman's house, and essentially it was his home. I don't know if he went to work and then crawled underneath this.
But why was he naked?
Buddy, aren't you naked in your house from time to time?
Rarely.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like to just walk around fully nude?
There's tons of people that live in my house.
Well, I guess that's true.
Maybe even underneath it. I don't know.
You know what? Odds are, probably. There's at least a snake underneath there.
As long as they're quiet.
And so, yeah, don't go knocking on Big J's floor. He doesn't like that at all.
I'll just start shooting.
Well, that'll ruin your floor, too, in case you want to know.
True.
But they found him. He's in jail. But, yeah, crawl spaces are places that, I don't know what would possess somebody to do that unless they're unhoused and this is some place that they want to go. But that feels like a really weird thing. It does not explain at all why this guy was fully nude.
The audaciousness, though, to be upset with the person living above you.
That really is. That's
that
the
is
crazy
some part to me.
Privileged stuff right there.
Yeah, that guy's a privileged homeless dude.
What
are you doing up there? Be quiet.
God, the racket. Honest to Pete. What are we doing?
I'm living in a crawl space, damn it.
I can barely turn around. I need my sleep. Morning After with Nic and Big J. There's your We're Going to Hell story. It is the Xtra.
Here's traffic.
Yes, it's the holidays.
Yeah, it's cold.
Yes, it's cold.
Can I just...
No, you can't skip it. But at least we can make it more bearable for you.
Let's play the X's Carol Quiz to get you qualified for our holiday treasure on 100.3 The X Rocks.
Yeah, let's do it. Thank you, Dennis Dillon Autos Group. Thank you, Mountain Health Co-op. Thank you, CBH Homes, for letting us do some holiday treasure fun. Giving away 10,000 American dollars on December 10th. We want you to win your share of it. In order to do that, you need to be qualified so that you can join us on the 10th at Barbarian Brewing in Garden City for our big giveaway party where a bunch of people are going to win money, and we'd like it to be you, to be honest. But if you want to get in on this action, you got to get qualified. You do so by calling us now, 208-287-1003. Although, Big J, judging by the phone banks, I don't have to tell them the phone number. They're already
know.
calling.
They've been calling for like 15 minutes.
And Big J is going to read somebody 3 titles of Christmas carols. Only one of those titles is an actual Christmas carol. The other 2 are completely made up. If you can correctly identify the real Christmas carol, congratulations. It is you that is qualified to join us along with the other qualifiers on the 10th of December and have a good old time. Big J, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Then we are halfway home. Let's see what we have going on. To the phones we go. Hello, the X.
How's it going?
Good, man. What's your name?
Garrett. I'm ready for round 2. Come on.
All right, dude. Good luck.
All right, here we go. Get sleep up early. God rest ye merry gentlemen. or stockings of love?
I'm going with the second one.
God rest ye merry gentlemen? That's right, man. That's 100% correct.
Ah, you did it.
Yeah.
You nailed it on the second one. Congratulations, brother. Hang on 1 second. We will get everything that you need to get yourself in the running. And there you go. Today was an easy one, I felt.
Yeah, that was easy.
And some of them are easy and some of them are very, very difficult. And so you want to get in on the easy ones. Trust me on that. But
I think you were feeling getting up early today.
what do you mean?
Well, one of the options, get up early.
Oh, get sleep up early? Yeah, that's every day. Although sometimes sleep is optional. And so, if you want to get qualified just like Garrett did, you want to continue to listen because tomorrow we're going to try to get somebody else qualified. Well, it's definitely going to happen. Like it to be you. So continue listening so your chance to get in on this fun can be had. Morning After with Nic and Big J. Important stuff and a little thing called Pop Culture Smackdown on the way on the X Rocks.
Important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the Morning After with Nic and Big J.
You know, the year 2024 is about to wrap up, Big J.
Yeah, real fast.
Yep. Little bit over a month, and that's going to be it for this year. It's nice to know that some Americans, 43%, say they're planning to do some sort of good deed or charitable contribution towards the end of the year before it wraps up, according to a survey. Yeah. 60% of Gen Z and millennial respondents say they've done good deeds within their community over the last year. We got to do better as Gen Xers, Big J. Only 47% of us have. You know what will be a good opportunity for all of us to do that? Extra Life this Saturday, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
We are raising money to help out St. Luke's Children's Hospital here in Boise. Kids that are fighting cancer and battling one of the toughest fights they'll ever have to battle. We want to raise some money for them this Saturday. We'll be playing video games and having fun and taking donations. And you guys can throw a $5 our way and we'll play whatever song you want us to play. We'll be playing video games on our Twitch stream, which is available at xrock.com. You can join us on twitch.tv. You can play along with us. You can donate for a chance to win a bunch of prizes. We want to raise as much money as we can on Saturday, and that's a great way to give a little bit back no matter what age bracket you find yourself in. We want to raise as much money as we can on Saturday for St. Luke's Children's Hospital. So help us out, and let's make that happen, and let's do some good with Extra Life. How say you, Big J?
Yeah, I'm down.
Even a small deed can have an incredible ripple effect, they have found, and not only in your karma, but also in helping a nonprofit, and that's what we're looking for on Saturday. So help us out. Just a little reminder that, sometimes all we need is a little bit to help give a lot back to people that are fighting some pretty terrible battles and need all the help they can get. That's what Saturday's all about. So make sure you join us live on the air and also online. That's the beauty of it. You can watch this all from the comfort of your own home and take part without having to go anywhere. You just got to drop us a couple of bucks, and we are happily passing them on directly to St. Luke's Children's Hospital here in Boise. So join us for that on Saturday, Extra Life. You've been paying attention at all to any hockey so far this year, Big J?
I haven't, no.
Are you familiar with Alex Ovechkin?
Oh, of course, yeah.
One of the greatest hockey players ever, and believe it or not, he is very close to breaking what a lot of people considered to be an unbreakable record, and that was Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal record. He's been chasing it down. He is 27 away to break the record of 894 career goals. Here's the problem. He suffered a leg injury on Monday.
Leg injury sounds bad.
Utah. He was on pace maybe to break the all-time goal record this season, but we will see if he can do it. Don't know exactly how long he is going to be out, but he will be out for a little while. Again, 27 is when he needs to break the record. That's a record that has stood since 1999 when Wayne Gretzky retired. Of course, fans are hoping for a speedy recovery. Ovechkin can continue his chase for the record, but right now he'll have to chill out and focus on healing for a little while. So get well soon, and good luck chasing that record. Maybe we might have to wait till next year, but hey, listen, depends on how long he's out for. Yeah. Here's the best. Speaking of people that are hurt, Big J, Jay Leno, once again.
Oh, man.
I mean, honest to God, he is recovering from a fall that resulted when the 74-year-old comedian now needs to wear an eye patch, dude. Apparently, he fell down a hill, according to TMZ. Yeah.
What's he doing on a hill to begin with?
I don't know. He said that he fell about 60, 70 feet. Boom, 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 rolled down the hill, hit his head on a rock, knocked himself in the eye. The accident occurred just before Jay Leno's show at a casino in Southern California that he had to delay so that he could seek medical attention.
Delayed?
Yeah.
Not just canceled?
No, he finished the gig and then returned to Los Angeles after that wearing an eye patch.
Whatever you want to say about Jay Leno, dude is a tough mother bleeper.
Yeah.
He's been blown up.
2002.
Ran into, and then fallen down and survives all of that at an elderly age.
Where is this casino that has got a 60 to 70 foot hill that Jay Leno can fall down before the actual gig he's about to do?
I don't know.
It sounds like it's
dangerous.
I mean, it's like Jack and Jill territory here. He's out there fetching a
You have
pail
a
of
bucket?
water
You
and
have
just
a
goes
bucket?
ass over tea kettle for 70 feet down a whole hill, and my damn near puts out an eye.
He needed to put water in his Model T. There's some jokes, Jay Leno. Put that in your act.
Oh, I bet you he loves that one. Morning After with Nic and Big J. There's your important stuff. We are going to have some Pop Culture Smackdown next on the X.
Here's traffic inside the TDS.
Pop Culture Smackdown. Right. On the Morning After with Nic and Big J.
Yeah, and we got a concert happening tonight at the Knitting Factory. That is going to be a hell of a show. We're talking The Devil Wears Prada, and we'll get you there for free. You just need to beat me Pop Culture Smackdown today.
Other rub is you got to swing by the radio station before we shut things down today to pick up these tickets so they don't go to waste. But if you'd like to go to the show tonight at the Knitting Factory on us, let me give you a phone number, 208-287-1003. Keep that. Put it in your phone. You'll use that whenever you want to get a hold of us. You can text us on that number as well, but right now you're calling it so you can play Pop Culture Smackdown against Big J to claim these tickets. Big J, are you ready?
I think so.
Then to the phones we go. Hello, the X.
Hello,
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Joe.
Hey, Joe, we need to know who played Edward in the movie Edward Scissorhands?
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, that's Johnny Depp. That is correct. Big J, what professional wrestler starred in the 1988 movie They Live?
Oh, Rowdy Piper.
Right.
That is correct. Joe, back to you. What superhero is known as the world's greatest detective inside the DC universe?
Batman.
That is correct.
Right.
I'm Batman.
Big J, what artist founded the record label Aftermath Entertainment?
Aftermath. Artist.
Yes,
Let's go with Dr. Dre.
that is correct.
Right.
Back to you, Joe. What is the name of Dorothy's dog in The Wizard of Oz?
Is that Toto?
Yes,
Right.
it is.
You're gonna earn this, man.
Big J, VH1 has done a ranking of the greatest songs in rock and roll 3 times. In each time, what song did they list as the greatest song in rock and roll? Every 3 times they did it was the same song that they considered the best song in rock and roll history.
In rock and roll history, boy, I have no idea. I don't remember this list. I'll go with Immigrant Song from Led Zeppelin.
Not a bad guess. Wrong. No. What if I told you it was a Rolling Stones song?
Sympathy for the Devil.
Yes. Wrong. No. I think probably bigger
Paint
hit.
It Black.
No.
Wrong. I got
Bigger
me.
hit.
There's no bigger hit than Paint It Black.
No, that's wrong. Satisfaction.
Okay.
Satisfaction. Listed by VH1.
Jumpin'
as
Jack.
The greatest.
Flash.
No, still wrong. Because I already told you the right answer.
Oh.
Joe, congratulations. You got yourself tickets to The Devil Wears Prada tonight. Hang on 1 second, dude. We will hook you up with those so that you are good to go. Morning After with Nic and Big J. We are going to talk how you can help out a wonderful thing here in the Treasure Valley just in time for Thanksgiving. A little thing called Cranksgiving. It's next on the X Rocks. Red Hot Chili Peppers, that is Scar Tissue here on the Morning After with Nic and Big J. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, but if you have listened to this show over the last couple years, you know it's a great opportunity for you to give a little bit to some families around the Treasure Valley that could use a little extra love around Thanksgiving, which is why we do our yearly check-in with our very, very good friend, Dave Foutch, who has come in to talk a little bit about Cranksgiving, which is an event that he has organized for the last 9 years, Dave, is that right?
This will be year number 9.
Congratulations,
Nice.
man. Happy anniversary. And I know this is something that you're very passionate about. You love adult beverages, beer specifically. You love biking. It is something that cycling is something that's very, very close to your heart and a huge hobby of yours. And you have combined these two wonderful things together to help give a little bit back to the Treasure Valley, right?
That's right. Cranksgiving is now in its 9th year here in Boise. Nationally, they are celebrating their 25th year.
That's crazy.
And our take on Cranksgiving is to have teams of cyclists, hopefully in costume, ride around all over town, answering questions on a manifest that we provide to them. And along the way, they gather all the necessary ingredients to fill a Thanksgiving food box that we donate to St. Vincent de Paul. So it's super fun, and people love it. We love it. There's still time to register.
Right.
So we have a website. It's called bikereg.com/Cranksgiving-Boise. You can get involved, and our goal this year is to donate 50 boxes to St. Vincent de Paul. That would be a new record for us.
That's awesome, man. And I know a lot of work goes into it because, as you mentioned, it's not just everybody kind of get together and let's gather some food and make it a food drive, which would be awesome enough. This is another element to things. It's almost like a scavenger hunt. Like, you want to have some fun. You want to take people on a trip. You want to involve cycling and have people go on some rides across the Treasure Valley. And so there's a whole nother layer to this thing that makes it a little bit more challenging, but also I think in the payoff makes it a lot more fun for everybody involved.
Absolutely. As part of the scavenger hunt, we try to develop questions that will actually help these people learn things about Boise art and history. And after doing this for 8 years, I can tell you it's getting harder to find things. So I start working on this months in advance. But we've come up with a good bunch of questions, and there are places where the teams are required to take a team photo and text it to us. And we try to add complication to it because we have one team that has consistently won for about 6 of the last 8 years.
All right.
And we need to break them.
I like this.
Is it your team?
It's not my team. I never get to go because I know all the answers.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's a good point. And you were mentioning also that you've got a raffle for some amazing prizes, especially if you're a cyclist.
Absolutely. Because the national organization is celebrating its 25th year, they've teamed up with a marketing company, and we have $2,100 worth of bike swag up for raffle.
Nice.
And those prizes include things like bike stands and bike helmets and things like that. It's really cool, and we are so thankful that Cranksgiving National is helping us out this way.
Very cool.
What if you're not a cyclist? How can you help out?
You can also volunteer, and the best place to find information on that is to go to the Cranksgiving Boise Facebook page. We have links to where you can register for the event, where you can volunteer, and there's also a link to a video that I might have something to do with.
Dave, I know
you look great in it.
It all starts on Saturday around 11 at Clairvoyant Brewing. How long does this whole event take place? Is it an all-day event? Are you guys wrapped up and able to enjoy some beverages by like 3, 4? What is the average time length for this thing?
Most teams take 2.5 hours to complete the manifest because we run them all over town. And we will have a DJ and a live band, 2 food trucks, and in the morning we're going to have Belong Coffee serving hot beverages. And looking at the forecast, it doesn't look very good on Saturday. So you're going to need that coffee.
Yeah.
I'm going to need that coffee. It's going to be a great day. The award ceremony is going to take place at 3 o'clock, but the party goes on until you're too tired to do anything else.
Love it. You mentioned a big part of Cranksgiving, at least here locally, is people dressing up and doing costumes. Some of your favorite over the years, Dave, that you've enjoyed people dressing up as?
We had a group dressed as cranberries. Not the band, but they were literally dressed as cranberries. And last year we had a team that won the best costume contest. It was kind of an esoteric thing, but each of them were representing a different Talking Heads song.
Okay, all right.
That's deep, man.
I like
It's so deep.
I like it.
But yeah, we've had a lot of very creative costumes, and we look forward to that part of it because it adds fun. We also have partner businesses that provide one of the items necessary for the Thanksgiving food box, and we ask those businesses to have some silly stunt that the team needs to perform in order to earn a can of yams or something like that.
That's awesome. I know, I don't know, but I imagine it's a lot of work that you put into it, and it's not just something that you scribble together over a weekend, and you take a lot of pride in this particular event. 9 years is no joke to be doing this, and to help out some great Treasure Valley families is really, really important as well. One more time, Dave, the website that people can go to if they want more information about Saturday's event.
The best place to go is our Facebook page, and that is Cranksgiving Boise on Facebook. You'll find all the information there.
Beautiful. Yeah. And I don't want to pass up an opportunity because you came prepared. We're ready for Thanksgiving jokes, Dave.
Okay. Hey. Hey, how does a turkey travel?
I don't know how.
By gravy train?
Come on! That's great.
Do we have a rim shot?
Or a gravy boat?
Hey, what?
Yeah, don't one-up the jokes, Big J.
What sound does a turkey's phone make?
What?
Wing, wing, wing.
Oh, God.
Okay, one more.
I don't know. Okay, let's have it.
He's got the...
Why did the turkey cross the road?
Why?
He wanted people to think he was a chicken.
Very nice.
Smart.
Very nice. See, this is the kind of stuff you get at Cranksgiving, guys. This is why you want to show up and be fun. So
quality entertainment.
Yes. Make sure you search it on the socials, Cranksgiving Boise. On Facebook, you get all the information. And then Clairvoyant Brewing on Saturday is where it's all going down. Get more information there as well. Dave, always a pleasure to see you. Congratulations again, another great event. We appreciate you, sir.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. Morning After with Nic and Big J. Some headlines on the way here on the X Rocks.
News. You have our word on it. For whatever that's worth. It's headlines on the Morning After with Nic and Big J.
Big J, I humbly present to you the following headlines.
Okay.
Stop it. The Great Escape or Oh Baby?
The Great Escape.
A TAP Air Portugal plane was grounded at the Ponta Delgada airport for 4 days after 132 hamsters escaped from the plane.
Oh, my God.
The critters were en route to a pet store when they escaped onto the cargo hold. The plane was kept as a precaution in case the rodents made their way into the plane's electrical wires because you know, as well as I do, hamsters and electrical wires, look out.
Yeah, what a terrible, crazy. Can you imagine? All right, everybody, you need to deboard. We've got hamsters on the loose.
After being thoroughly searched, the Airbus A320 was cleared to fly back to Lisbon on a Sunday, but they did admit at least 15 hamsters unaccounted for.
Oh, my God.
No idea where they are. I mean, they're probably not. It probably didn't go well for them. Like maybe they were in the landing gear or something and off they went. You know what I mean?
Man, not a place they should be. Really.
No, but the hamsters don't know any better. They're just like, listen,
I don't
we got a route.
Don't we have, don't places have their own hamsters? They got to transport hundreds of hamsters somewhere?
A wonderful question. Why they needed to go on a plane from Portugal to another part of any part of the world is I don't know if there's special Portugal hamsters out there. I'm not a breeder, but as somebody that used to have hamsters, I understand these things will get it on with anything, and it's pretty easy to have baby hamsters whenever you want them. Yes, I don't know what made these hamsters so special they needed to catch a flight from Portugal to another part of the world, but they did. Stop it or oh baby?
Oh baby.
An airline passenger with a layover in Miami found an unusual way to kill some time in between flights. Normally you would belly up to a bar or hang out and download a show and charge your phone. But this woman decided she was going to have a baby at the ticket counter instead.
Uh-oh.
The woman had just gotten off a flight in Miami International Airport, was waiting for her connecting flight when her water broke and she went right into labor. Police officers, firefighters, U.S. Custom officers surrounded her and helped her deliver her baby before an ambulance arrived and brought her and the baby boy to the hospital. There's been no update on the mother or the baby's condition. Hopefully all is well. But it's assumed that she did not make her connecting flight wherever she was going.
Right.
But you got to name that baby after something airport related, yes?
Yeah.
Like, what? What do you call a baby?
Gateway.
Gateway? All right, I like that.
That's weird. Gateway's weird.
You mean runway? Is that what you're going
No, just Sky Bridge. Sky.
Sky's a good one.
Sky's good.
Sky's a good one.
Just spitballing here.
Terminal is another one that you spread. No, it's not good. All right.
Come here, Terminal. No, that doesn't work.
Little Termy? Come on, Termy. All right. Wrap it up with Stop It. Police in Lincolnshire, England are asking the public to stop using quads to chase an escaped emu. Apparently, People are trying to find this emu and jumping on their four-wheelers and chasing it all over the place. The large bird escaped and has been seen in the Spilsby area over the last couple of weeks. And while rescuers from the National Exotics Animal Rescue Service are trying to lure the bird in with food, their efforts are being thwarted because members of the public keep chasing it in their 4x4s. According to the Boston Police social media post, members of the public are being asked to allow the actual experts near the bird and to carry out the work and not attempt to approach the emu. But I promise you, those commands will be falling on deaf ears because we want to get it on our 4x4, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you have 4x4s.
Oh, you say I can't catch this thing? Look at me go.
Yeah. Guess what?
Woo!
I'll be a hero. An emu hero.
I'll be in those commercials next.
Yeah. Is that Liberty Insurance?
Yeah.
Legal Emu, right? What's the name of it?
I mean, you'd think that as many times as I've seen it, I would know, but...
You've also referenced it twice in 2 days, so I thought...
we keep having these emu stories.
So I thought maybe you'd have some sort of...
Let me go do a deep dive.
Recall, but no.
Thank you.
Okay. I think it's... Yeah, Legal Emu or something like that. Morning After with Nick and Big J. All I'm thinking now is Liberty Bibberty. That's all I've got in my head after that. That's
copy reading.
Your headlines. We got ourselves a little bit of bad impressions. They're next on the X Rocks.
It can be a rodeo.
Bad impressions.
So far, I'm not impressed.
On the Morning After with Nic and Big J.
And we have up for grabs here our last pair of tickets to The Devil Wears Prada. Last show for a little bit here, in fact, happening tonight at the Knitting Factory. So you need to come pick these up today and have yourself a good old time if you can figure out the clues for bad impressions.
Here's our phone number, 208-287-1003. If you want these last pair of tickets to The Devil Wears Prada, all you have to do is play bad impressions, which works like this. Big J has prepared 3 separate clues. Individually and collectively, they all point to somebody that is pretty famous. If you can figure out who that famous person is in 3 clues or less, congratulations. It's you that is going to The Devil Wears Prada. Let's see if we can't get ourselves a contestant. Hello, the X.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, man? What's your name?
This is Mike.
All right, Mike, you're up first. Good luck.
I played all 16 years of my NFL career for the New York Giants, including 2 Super Bowl wins.
What else you got?
Monday nights, my brother Peyton and I do a live cast on Monday Night Football.
Oh, it's Eli Manning.
That is Eli Manning.
Nailed it, Mike. Good job. Hang on 1 second. We will hook you up with those Devil Wears Prada tickets. What was clue 3 for fun?
My nephew Arch Manning plays quarterback for the Texas Longhorns.
And why is Eli Manning in the news?
They just announced, Nick, the first lineup here of those who might be going into the Hall of Fame. 6 first-year eligible candidates, and among them, 25 modern-era players. Those would be Luke Kuechly, Eli Manning, Terrell Suggs, Earl Thomas, Adam Vinatieri, and Marshall Yanda. So there you go. Of course, hot debated Eli Manning, whether he's going to get in or not. It's pretty apparent he'll get in.
Do you think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer?
No, but he will be.
Yeah.
Because he's a Manning. And, you know, I mean, listen, if it was just 2 regular Super Bowls, but you beat the Patriots twice.
I get
it, and it puts you in a different era,
but
I guess.
For me, if you want to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, you have to be considered one of your generation's best quarterbacks. And while he had 2 good games, I would put Eli Manning in the 10 to 15 range of players that also played with him at that time. He's behind Tom Brady. He's behind his brother. He's behind Phillip Rivers. He's behind all these other people.
I don't know about statistically, but, you know, winner's a winner, dude. I'm sorry.
I get it, but a Super Bowl ring doesn't mean you get into the Hall of Fame. It's just, I'm sorry about that.
Might need to tell the people there at the NFL.
Well, give me an example of who else got in that you don't think has a Hall of Fame resume that just won a Super Bowl.
Oh, my gosh. I can't pull somebody out of my rear end on that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That you're telling me that's the standard, but it's not. And outside of Joe Namath, that's the only other guy that I can think of that really had a average career but won a Super Bowl, and that made him a Hall of Fame quarterback. I don't think Joe Namath deserves to be in the Hall of Fame either. And if you look at his numbers, I think anybody will agree. I'm saying Eli Manning deserves to be in there. I'm just saying he's not an automatic first ballot Hall of Famer. As a matter of fact, of those names you listed, I would argue that maybe Terrell Suggs, maybe Adam Vinatieri, that's it. And even then, kickers usually don't get in the first time either.
Yeah, there's a bunch here that are on their third or fourth time, and I'm like, I can't believe they aren't in yet because they were game records. Like they had to plan all around them just to have a football game.
Yeah,
Well,
it's crazy.
Yeah, let's see. One of those is Jared Allen.
Yeah, I know, but
you had to game plan around Jared Allen. Being a Packer fan,
he was a force to be reckoned with. But again, like you are that we're talking prime time defensive lineman era that Jared Allen played, and he's probably 10, 15 deep in that listing as well. If you look at all the other defensive linemen that played when Jared Allen played football, it makes it hard for him to be like among the elite. He was certainly a great athlete, and I think he was great. But, I mean, we're talking all-time Hall of Fame. I don't know, man. I don't know if any of those players you listed should be in the Hall of Fame first ballot style. I do believe Eli will get in first ballot. You're right, because of all those other names, they need a headliner. He's the biggest one of the bunch.
Yeah.
But, man, it's a rough class. Morning After with Nic and Big J. We will wrap up the show here next on the X-Rocks. Bad guy. Big J, relationship goals. When are you and the missus going to release a single together?
Hey, man, maybe for Christmas.
Yeah, drop that new hotness called Weekend Grade and see if we can't get it on.
It'll be an instant hit.
See if we can't get it on the air.
Everywhere we go. That's what people, I love it.
Yeah, they love the Weekend Grade.
We did a podcast last night. They're like, it's our favorite thing.
It's fun. It is the Morning After with Nic and Big J, and that's going to pretty much do it for us. Special thank you to our friend Dave for popping by talking about Cranksgiving coming up Saturday out there at Clairvoyant Brewing. If you want to help out with some food drive stuff and have a little bit of fun and break out your bicycle and have some good times, maybe check out Cranksgiving Boise on Facebook and get more information on that. We also had a chance to blow out our last tickets to the Devil Wears Prada tonight at the Knitting Factory. Have a blast if you're going to that show, and that leaves you with the floor, Big J.
Yeah, for the first time ever, Nick, in January, Dippin' Dots will be available at your local grocery store, starting with Kroger.
Freezer section, I imagine?
Yeah, well, yeah. They have to be cold.
Yes, they do. Do you like Dippin' Dots, Big J?
It's a weird trip. I mean, it's weird. They're little, like, doesn't look like ice cream, but it tastes like it when it's all mashed up together. So I can take it or leave it.
Will you purchase them?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just letting everybody else know because some people are all about the Dippin' Dots.
It's weird. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's certain foods that, like, equate certain places for me. And, like, when you say Dippin' Dots, I automatically think the zoo. That I don't know why.
See, I automatically think Steelhead's Gates.
Okay. Or even, sporting events is another thing that could definitely happen. But I remember as a kid, zoo is where I would get the Dippin' Dots, and that's just something that just is an instant thought in my head. But if you enjoy them, now you'll have them readily available. I'm guessing you probably serving size little cups.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Perfect.
Morning After with Nic and Big J. That's it for us. We will see you tomorrow. Jason Drew's up next. It's the X Rocks.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't